been a long time coming. Whoa, whoa.
Hi lovelies, welcome to day 7, chapter 7 of our fairy tale reread. We've done a week! Well done! Now today I said that I was going to talk about Celia. Celia is Rosie's best friend. She works as a columnist for the New York Times. She's very well respected. She's been doing the job for a long time. And Celia is New York. She says it like it is. She complains voraciously about all number of different topics. On the surface she seems quite sort of shallow, and she gets upset about things that really don't matter, and she drives everyone else insane. Ed is constantly angry about her, but Rosie loves her. Celia really helped her when Rosie first came to New York, and you find out why as the book goes on. I'm not going to give anything away. But also Celia shows Rosie her vulnerable side, and there is one area of her life that she won't talk to anybody about. It's kind of an ongoing situation, and she finally talks to Rosie about it in chapter 7. So I'm going to read you a little snippet of that. Celia shivered. "I can't believe it's nearing fall already," she moaned. "Where has summer gone? Before we know it, it'll be Thanksgiving, then Christmas. Did I tell you I got a call from Jerry today?" The question was so deftly inserted into her conversation that I almost missed it. "Jerry, he called." Celia gave a fatalistic shrug and took a mouthful of wine-poached salmon. 11 months he's been gone, and then today I get a call. Celia and Jerry have been partners for well over 14 years and were, it seemed, blissfully unaffected by each other for all of that time. She went on her assignments, he went on his business trips. They spent 3 weeks together every summer at their beach house in Martha's Vineyard, and New Year with his family in Wisconsin. They were a typical, high-achieving New York couple. Until 11 months ago, Jerry announced he was off to find himself, packed a suitcase, and disappeared. It was unclear whether Jerry's disappearance was a life-changing, traumatic experience for Celia or just an annoyance. She rarely even mentioned his name, and I knew she'd been on more than one date recently. Even now, as I faced her across the table, I couldn't detect any kind of emotion in her measured expression, except perhaps resignation. "So how did he seem? What did he say?" I asked. Celia shrugged again and looked over my shoulder. "That he's sorry, that he's in Palm Springs and the golf is good, that he wants me to forgive him." "But he's not coming home?" I asked, trying to judge her countenance, which flickered slightly. She nodded. "Oh, Celia." She held up her hand and looked me square in the eyes. "It's fine, honestly, Rosie, I'm fine. He can go. No, he's welcome to go. I'm amazed we lasted as long as we did. We never married. What can I say? Such is life. I don't think there's anyone else, though. And I don't think I'd care if there was. Besides," she added, with a wry smile making a welcome comeback, "I hear toy boys are all the rage for women over 40 right now, so maybe I'll get me one of those. Maybe I'll give Nate Amy a call." Her eyes twinkled naughtily. "Unless you have any objections, that is." So that story is going to develop as the story goes on as well. So she has her own little story within the book. And like I said yesterday, I wanted all of my characters to have lives outside of the actual main story. So you know that there's other stuff going on. And Celia's story goes on in the background for quite a long time, but then actually becomes quite an important part of the book. And on that, I will say no more because I don't want to spoil it for you. Now, I said that I would tell you today about the real-life inspiration for Celia, and once again, it goes back to the You've Got Mail DVD that I mentioned a few days ago when we were talking about locations and where Kowalski's is set. I got the DVD of You've Got Mail, and one of the extras, there's an interview with Nora Ephron. Now I love Nora Ephron's writing. I think it's wonderful, but until I saw that, I didn't actually know what she looked like. And she gives this this interview, and she's kind of got this wry sense of humour, and she talks about her life and her writing and her view, sort of world view. And straight away I thought I would love to be friends with her because she's hugely witty and so funny and very, very dry, and she has a real take on everything. It'd be quite awe-inspiring to spend time with someone like that. And so when Rosie appeared, when I started writing my paragraph that grew and grew and grew, that became Coffee at Kowalski's, which then became Fairytale of New York, started This City's Not My Birthright, and then suddenly Rosie was at Celia's. And so Celia was there, and straight away Celia was Nora Ephron. And it's lovely actually, because I owe so much to Nora Ephron for actually being here, because she inspired me with her films to the point where I wanted to tell my own stories. But it's just really nice to have her in my book, because it's my way of saying thank you for her inspiring me to write in the first place. Right, tomorrow, day 8, chapter 8, we're moving to our second week of Fairytale Reread, and I'm going to tell you about Rosie's brother James. He makes a very brief appearance at the end of chapter 7, so I'm not spoiling anything by saying he's there, but he may have more going on in his life than he initially appears. He's very laid back, very cheeky chap, but Rosie right from the beginning has a bit of a feeling that there could be a bigger reason why he's suddenly turned up in New York. So I will tell you all about him tomorrow. Thank you so much for reading along, and for your questions, keep your questions coming. What would you like to know? Anything at all to do with Fairytale of New York? You can tweet me at Wordsmith. I'm also Wordsmith on Instagram, Miranda Dickinson Author on Facebook, or you can email me mirandawordy@gmail.com. Have a lovely day, happy reading, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Been a long time coming.